Good morning. I know you guys are here. It's early in the morning, so whether you're here watching the replay or whether you are, good morning, Facebook. So I'm going to be going here and I'm going here, okay? Like I'm on both. Welcome. This is Entrepreneur Motivation, and I am Fatima. I am a voice catalyst, and I am one that believes that the things that I have to say are meant to act as a positive disruptor and a domino effect in the things that you have like in your life, specifically around entrepreneurship. So you can apply these principles that we're going to be sharing and teaching today either through your life, but really for entrepreneurship. So you're in the right place if you are interested in being an entrepreneur or to start your business or to grow your business. You're in the right place. And I'm really excited to have you here. Again, my name is Fatima. For Facebook folks, I'm going between Instagram and Facebook. I'm getting this thing together. So thank you for your patience. Okay, so welcome again to Entrepreneur Motivation. And one of the things that we're going to be going through, for me, I'm a firm believer that courage is absolutely needed to and can transform individuals, businesses, and organizations and communities. And courage literally means that you are one that you go towards what it is that you fear. That's scary. But you need courage to do those things, and there's a reason why it's here. And because if you are an entrepreneur, for those who are actually desiring to be entrepreneurs, those who desire to grow or scale their business, you need courage. You can't just be out here doing everything that everyone else is doing. You really need to be able to focus on what it is that God, in my belief, okay, this is just me, and what God has given for you to do. Now, God is still working on me. This is not me saying that I'm perfect, righteous, and holy, okay? There are still plenty of things that I need to, that God is working on me with and on. But I firmly believe that courage can transform individuals, businesses, as well as communities. And so that's so necessary. That's so the groundwork to make sure that you hear that in your mind, okay? And so today we're going to be talking about 3 tips to validate your friendships and entrepreneurship. You can also take and apply these, I think, to your life and things that you do day in and day out, maybe even to family. So I think these are transferable, but we're going to be specifically talking about them in entrepreneurship and in business. And so just a couple of more things. I am not a pastor. I do not have a seminary degree. That's not me. None of that stuff is me. What I'm doing is inviting you into my practice in the morning. And I believe that I start out doing something similar to this in the morning. I've already done my session before I even come up and invite you in. So this is just me inviting you into what I normally do. It is something that if it works for you, you can absolutely continue to use it. And if not, then, maybe pass it on to somebody else, So again, this is Entrepreneur Motivation. We'll be on for about 15 minutes, maybe 20. When I'm done talking, that's it. I'm cutting it off. And so, okay, we're going to hop on in. First, I want you guys to know that I'm actually going to be connecting. The main thing is connecting entrepreneurship principles to Bible-based principles. So I'm connecting them. That's the main point of this. We're taking faith-based principles and connecting them to entrepreneurship. And so I actually use, just so you guys know as a reference, I'm going to put it up here for those here. I use the NIV Chronological Bible. I'm going over here to Facebook. I use the NIV Chronological Bible. And what this does is it helps me to actually... it helps me to understand the Bible better. Okay, so this, it took me 4 years to read a 1-year Bible. It's okay. Like, we all got our own, it's good. We all got our own path, our own way that we do things. But this is where I get my wisdom. This is my strategy book. It's not necessarily what people are doing on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, online courses, or what I hear from someone else. Like, this is my guide. If you want to know how I think, if you want to know what my strategy is for entrepreneurship, for business, how I live my life, my relationships, family, I first get it. This is one of the main sources, okay? And so that's where some of the principles that I'm going to be pulling in today will actually come from. All right, so I'm going to post something in the chat here and Facebook. This is going to be for you guys as well. But don't do it now, but I do want you to, hey sis, I do want you to go to liveinfavor.co, and essentially you get to have, there's an entrepreneurship survey on there that would allow me to understand and know the challenges that you might face if you desire to start or grow your business. And so at some point, what I'd like to do is for after this session, I'm going to drop it here in the chat. And I want you to take a quick 5-minute survey, which will help me to understand if this session was helpful, what things you're actually working on, and what you need. And that will allow me to create solutions and outcomes for you that support you, okay? So let me just drop this in the chat and we'll get started, okay? And sis, this is Entrepreneur Principles. I'm taking faith-based principles and connecting it to entrepreneurship. And she's a Miss Skeen over here, my boo. She is a serial entrepreneur, so she knows these things very well. Okay, did you guys see this in the chat? Or do you see this in the chat? Let me know. Okay. Did you guys see that? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. We should be on for maybe another 10, 15 or so minutes. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop this in here. Okay, thanks, Mara. All right. First, let's go ahead and start off with a prayer. If you're in a space where you can bow your head and close your eyes, please do so. But if you're taking care of the babies, if you're going to work, if you're getting dressed and I'm like the background noise, that's fine too. All right, dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for bringing the people who are here with us on this live. Thank you so much for the people who will hear the replay. And thank you so much, Father, for blessing me with the calling to step forward. I pray that, Father, the things that I have to say are things that are from you and that will motivate, inspire, and land in the hearts and minds of the people who are listening. Remove all anxiousness, remove all fear. And Father, just allow us to be here in this authentic space and allow us to find grounding in you, Father, so that we can prosper throughout our day. In Jesus' name. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We are talking about relationships and entrepreneurship. So 3 tips to validate your friendships in entrepreneurship. So I have a couple of notes here so I won't forget anything. Have you guys ever been in a group of friends or a group of people and everyone seemed like they were only around you because they wanted something? Has anybody felt like that? Like you're in a group of friends and you're around a group of people, or they're friends, and they're just kind of around you because they want something from you. There's something that they believe about you that can generate or feed them, but the relationship is kind of one-sided. When I started my business several years ago, I was in a space where I left New York and I decided to do what I had learned over the last decade and move it into an actual business on my own and figure out what that was like. In fact, I didn't have a job when I moved back home after leaving New York, and I had to create some type of opportunity for myself. Hi, how are you? Hi, Brian. I had to create some type of opportunity for myself. And so I didn't have a job. I was trying to figure it out. And I decided to use the skills and information and knowledge that I already had to create a business. But in this space, it was very scary. Because one, you can be in a space, especially if you started a business or if you're growing in your business, this can happen in multiple levels. It's scary because you don't know if people are going to take to what you're saying. Obviously, you use that through proving your market and information, but you don't know if people are if it's a good space for you to prove or validate the information that you're saying. It's kind of scary because people may not be used to you talking like this, especially family and friends. They're kind of used to just hearing what it is that what you do on the weekends, but then when you get really serious and locked in on what it is that you want to do to kind of support your next level vision and goals and generational things, sometimes people just don't get it. And so it can be a very lonely experience in the beginning. I won't lie to you, but having the right friendships, having the right people around you to motivate you and help you are absolutely necessary. And if you feel being overwhelmed, if you feel like, how am I going to learn all the things that I need to learn in order to succeed in my business? What are the things that I need to know? Like, I don't even know what I don't know. And there's so many, you can go on YouTube, you can go on, so much information. It's just that information overload on what to actually do. And sometimes having friends, not sometimes, but having the right friends in place are absolutely necessary to help keep you grounded. And they're actually a gift from God. Great friends are actually a gift from God. Good morning. Good morning to those on Facebook who just joined. Having good friends a gift from God. And so my best friend, her name is Erin, and I have some friends on here as well. Well, my best friend Erin, I've known her since middle school, 7th grade. Yeah, like my friendships rock tight. Anybody who knows me, and if we rock together, we rock together. We there for life. And I've had her in my life, been such a blessing, where we've gone through different shifts and changes, obviously as a teen in 7th grade. And then we decided to start this dance team in the 9th grade. And because our school was just not having the culture, okay, that they needed. So much so that we actually decided to go to brother-sister rival HBCUs in college. So she went to Howard, I went to Hampton. I still believe Hampton is the real HU. Come on, somebody. And she also was someone who, when I started my business and I left New York, and I told her, I think I'm going to do this new thing. I think I'm going to step out and try something new. She screamed, y'all, to the top of her lungs on the phone. I can still remember it to this day. She said, "What? You're going to do what?" And her enthusiasm for me starting my business and saying that I'm going to do something different and go to the next level was legit what I needed, because I was already scared. I was already nervous to see if this thing was going to work. I was already doubting if I had the skills and the information. Like, I knew, like, you know, when you know something, like, you know it, but to have to perform and present it in front of other people, now it invites insecurities and validation and people, and almost people pleasing, to say that your idea is good enough to be on this market and for people to pay for your services. I'm not talking about a hobby. I'm saying people to pay for your services. And so I was going through all of these spaces, not realizing that's what a part of entrepreneurship was. Because, see, remember, when I first started out, I started my business. I was working with small business CEOs, and now I still work with small business CEOs. But at that time, my core services were around speaking engagements and were around helping entrepreneurs, the small business entrepreneurs, with contracts and pitching to corporate companies, and I was helping them to work on the business and growing their audience and all of that stuff. I was behind the scenes. I work well behind the scenes. So me being here talking to you about this is new. Not that I don't know I can't do it, but it is a transition. And so I say the same thing to you. You have to be in a space and recognize the transition that you're in, and recognize that it's absolutely okay to have feelings of overwhelm or doubt or worry. It actually means that you're moving in the right direction. And you might have different iterations of that as you continue through and to grow your business. Does this resonate with anybody, anyone who is on? Is this resonating with you? Put a yes in the chat if that is the case, so I can know that I'm talking to the right people, so I know that I'm saying the right things. Like, put a yes in the chat. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up, something. Let me know. I love feedback. And so one of the things here is that I want to make sure, thank you so much, Mira. So I want to make sure that we understand kind of why you need friendship, a little bit about me and my story in friendship. And one of the things that I like to go through now, we'll jump into the Bible-based versions. So one of the things for me is I'm coming from Proverbs. If anyone knows Proverbs, then you know that this is, good morning. If you know Proverbs, I love Proverbs. It's the book of wisdom, okay? Here's a couple of scriptures, and I want you to listen to this. This is very practical. This is not me. This is stuff that I told you I get from my strategy book, okay? This is what I get from my strategy book. This is not me. Listen to this. Wounds from a sincere friend are better than many kisses from an enemy. That's Proverbs 27:6. Here's the next one. Sweet friendships refresh the soul and awaken our hearts with joy, for good friends are like the anointing oil that yields the fragrant incense of God's presence. Let me repeat that. Sweet friendships refresh the soul and awaken our hearts with joy, for good friends are like anointing oil that yields the fragrant incense in the presence of God. Friendships are gifts from God. And this other one, wounds from a sincere friend are better than many kisses from an enemy. That means when your friend is telling you something about yourself, you should give it consideration. I'm not saying listen to everything that everyone else says. You have to validate that for yourself in your heart and with God. But when you have a friend, a true friend, who I call Erin, she was someone who I call my mirror. I don't have a mirror in front of me. And Mira, someone else I call my mirror. That means when I look in the mirror, they reflect back to me the highest version of myself when I can't see it myself? Why would something like that be even important in entrepreneurship? Do you know how many people are coming after? It's about competitive. Have you been in the world? Have you looked outside? Were you around for the presidential elections? Were you around for the things that are happening in small businesses? Were you around for any of this stuff? Did you recognize that there's so many people, there's a mass surge of people who are hourly workers that are quitting their jobs and trying to figure out where they can do and how they can create better lives? Do you recognize that mental health is on the rise right now, or that the awareness of mental health is so necessary right now? You need people who will help ground you and be inside of you, and having good friendships and people who will mirror back to you your highest version of yourself, especially when you're growing, is an absolute necessity. It's not a want and a nice to have. It's a necessity, but it's something very rare that most people don't have. My mom says this very easily. She says, if you have at least, if you can count the amount of people in your lifetime on your hand that have been friends in your lifetime, okay? What is the average age? Around 60, 70? So you need, absolutely, Mary, you need people who are God sent. And so if you count them on your hands, you've done something in your life. You've done something in your life. And so that's why, when your friend tells you something about yourself, believe them, take it into consideration. And that's something that Erin has done for me. Let me give you 3 tips to validate your friendships, and then we'll be out of here. Number 1, assess what season of life that you're in and if they match where you are. If you are dedicated to starting your business and you tell your friend, like I told Erin, I was very vulnerable about this. I said, hey, I'm starting my business. What do they say? Do they say, oh, girl, well, or hey, man, that's not something that, are you really ready to do that? Is this something, why? Why would you do that? Are they questioning this next level, or are they just saying, okay, cool, yeah? Or are they asking, what can I do to help? That's one of the questions that Erin asked. Okay, great, I love that you're doing this. What can I do to help? How can I actually be there? What is their response? And you can't tell everybody everything, especially when you're starting something new. When you're starting something new, sometimes I have some things right now that are just between me and the man who gave them to me, okay? I'm not telling everybody everything, but one of my first people that I kind of test is my best friend. And she kind of lets me know if I'm thinking about things the right way. And so that's something that you also want to be mindful of. The second tip, assess how much time, energy, effort, and money that you are placing in your friendships. Assess how much time, energy, effort, and money that you are placing in your friendships. And is it reciprocated? Is it mutual? Is it something that both people are benefiting? Or is it always you giving out your time? Or is it always you giving out your energy? Is it always you giving out your money? Is it always you giving out the effort? Because that's not a real friendship. Friendship is based on, for me, accountability. It's based on consistency, allowing me to be my authentic self. You reflecting back to me again the highest version of myself when I can't see it myself. Or you corralling with me when I'm like, yeah, I did that. You're not looking at me like, why she thinks she ought to? Hey, when you want me to, right? And so when I say that, like, assess the amount of time, energy, effort, and money that you're putting into your friendships, because guess what? If you do not have friends who are doing that, like, why put in that extra time, the extra money, the extra effort, all of those things? The reason why I call out time, energy, effort, and money is because if they're not going to the right people, those things can actually be diverted to your business. If these people aren't helping you, then they're hindering you. So watch out for that. Here's the third tip. Are you being the type of friend that you want in return? We're naturally very selfish people. We're naturally wanting things to be things that serve us, but we're not often interested in what other people need from us. So if we're looking to be right, Mary? If we're looking to be, if we're looking for someone who we can lend a hand to us, if we're looking to someone who is willing to hear our stories and our struggles and things that we're going through day in and day out, if we're wanting these things from people, are we showing up at those levels? And I'm going to take it even a step further. Are we actually showing up even more so? Not as selfishly, so that you can actually have, and not so much selfishly so that you can have just get something in return, but you're actually just doing this because that's who you are. And maybe I could be a bit naive and say like people aren't like that, but I just firmly believe that I've had rich experiences, and I've been so blessed to see the great in people that my experiences have been very richly blessed. And for those who don't have that, I truly believe that it's something that is possible for you. There's richness and value in everything that you need. And there's richness and value in giving before you first receive. And so if you don't think that you have those people in your group, look at how you're showing up in the groups that you're already in, how you're showing up at work. I'm not sure if you started your business and you're trying to, or if you're an entrepreneur, or excuse me, if you're a 9-to-5 person and you have a business, how are you starting out? How are you at work? How are you showing up at work? Is there anything at work that you can help? Can you be a friend? Can you be a good colleague? Can you be a good employee before you transition to being an employer of your own business? How are you showing up in your family relationships? How are you showing up with your parents, with your siblings, right? So there's always places, if you look around and just open up your eyes, there's always places and spaces for you to already show up as a friend, even if you don't have a longevity or a long history of people that you work with, or that you have a relationship with. There's still always a way for you to do that. So those are the 3 tips. Number 1, assess what season of life that you're in, and if the friends that you have in your circle, if they match, okay? Number 2, assess how much time, energy, effort, and money that you're putting into these friendships. Assess that. It's a real assessment. Assess how much time, energy, effort, and money you're putting into these friendships, and if you're getting the same back in return. And then number 3, assess yourself. Are you actually being a good friend, and what it is that you need to support that person, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship. You need friendships in anything that you do new, but especially in entrepreneurship, when you are going to be tested with financial woes, you're going to be tested with clients, you're going to be tested just in general with being consistent in operating your business. You're going to be tested in your knowledge base and seeing, what you actually learn, being able to pivot when things come up in different challenges. You're going to be tested, and you need people who are in your corner that you can talk to. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed our session today. I did go a little bit longer than intended, but we're here. I appreciate the rich conversation. Mary, you are giving me life. You are giving me life. For those who don't know, Mary, she is an entrepreneur as well. Mary, I'm coming for you because there's a couple things that I want to be able to talk to you about. She is someone that has held me down, and she's someone who I also call a mirror, who has seen me in my spaces that I needed to grow through and grow in, and she always gave me love inside of it. So even right now, she's showing up as a friend, and that's something that I will be doing for her as well. So identify those people and be grateful for them. So as mentioned a little bit earlier, so my company is called liveinfavor.co. It's called liveinfavor.co. I'm going to put this in the chat on Facebook as well. And what I want you to do is I want you to go to this website, and I want you to go to the entrepreneur survey. It's about 5 minutes. And what it does is it helps me to understand if you are a desire to start your business, or if you desire to grow in your business. This gives me information about what is going to be necessary to help take you in your business to the next level. Okay, it's about 5 minutes. You can go to the survey, liveinfavor.co, and scroll down to entrepreneur survey. And I will be back. We're doing this as Entrepreneur Motivation. I will be back Wednesday and Friday in the month of October, starting at 7 a.m. I know it's early, but it's how I get grounded. So the times may switch, but the grounding and the principles stay the same. Okay. So are there any questions that you guys have? I guess I'll open it up. I have a couple more minutes here. I didn't want to go past 7:30, but if there's any questions that you have, let me know. And if not, we will go ahead and conclude the morning. Let me see. I appreciate all the love. You guys are amazing. Look at you guys. You guys are amazing. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. That's why I'm going like this. You guys are amazing. So, okay, well, I want you guys to have a phenomenal day. Don't forget, take that survey, liveinfavor.co. Very simple, about 3-5 minutes. And I look forward to hearing more information about you. If you want, I'm going to put out a survey as well just to learn more about what you want to hear about on these morning chats. But again, this is Entrepreneur Motivation. I am Fatima, your voice catalyst. And my job and my goal is the things that I say, or I want to be a disruptor to how you envision things and how you see things so that you can help to enforce positive change and actually become a catalyst yourself. Okay? All right, now that you have this information, it's no longer on me. It's up to you to take it to the next level and to share it. Take care. You guys have a great day. Bye.